Your greatest hour is usually followed right after your worst hour is spare. You have to find out what you're all made of. Yeah, it's really easy to hide in success and good fortune and when things are going well and everyone's lovely and you're at a party and everyone gonna be happy then, but who are you when all that's gone, all the cheers are gone, the money's gone, the opportunities are gone? I mean, who is that person? Because that's the person that created it once, and if that person still remains true to themselves, it will create it again. We get to find out who we are. There's a lot of self-discovery there. If you're feeling depressed and you're feeling down and out and everything else, it means that you are not doing the path of which you know you can do.
See, you can do anything. You can get up any hour, read any book, take any class, make any change, develop any skill, do any discipline. I mean, you can do it all. When this how and the why, or when the why starts to grow, the how gets simple.
The price of greatness is being misunderstood. You are going to be so misunderstood. And if you spend time trying to get the critics to understand you, you're never going to achieve the greatness because they're going to be distracting you. It's like you're on this path. They're constantly trying to pull you off and distract you. I'm like, no, I built so much of that muscle. I don't care what they say, and I don't even care.
Permanently questioning if you're making any progress. Am I doing this right? And it isn't like every training montage that you've seen where the hero goes from realizing he needs to change to the change with ups and downs in the journey and the progress, but no loss of conviction. I lost conviction all the fucking time. Like, what should I be doing? Should I be constantly trying to work out what I'm self-generating and self-educating?
Just because it feels uncomfortable doesn't mean it's not good. Even if it feels uncomfortable, that can sometimes be right. I think so often, not only on film, but in life, we so want to feel comfortable, but that doesn't always bring the best results.
Don't quit. Because this isn't a race. There is no deadline. The reason why you're doing this is because you recognize that you deserve to have something that's worth getting out of bed for. You deserve to have something every week that you look forward to. You deserve to have something that matters to you, that is bringing meaning to your life, that's important to you, because that's what makes life fulfilling.
What a privilege to be tired from the work you once begged the universe for. What a privilege to feel overwhelmed by growth you used to dream about.
For having done the thing that you once dreamt of doing is a beautiful blessing.
Desire to me is a contract that you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. So when I'm unhappy about something, I look for what is the underlying desire that I have that's not being fulfilled. It's okay to have desires. You're a biological creature. You're put on this earth. You have to do something. You have to have desires. You have a mission. But don't have too many. Don't pick them up unconsciously. Don't pick them up randomly. Don't have thousands of them. Pick your one overwhelming desire, and it's okay to suffer over that one. But on all the others, you want to let them go so you can be calm and peaceful and relaxed.
Everything can become possible if you find the way to translate what is in the mind into action, because this transformation makes things come to us. Everything we have available nowadays on this earth started somewhere here by someone.
Your laziness, your lack of discipline, it doesn't just affect you. You see, whether you realize it or not, there are people that depend on you. And more importantly, there are people that will depend on who you could become. Who you decide to be matters. When you haven't developed the mental fortitude and the mental strength to deal with difficult situations, and a truly difficult situation arrives and you're too wrapped up in your own problems to help anyone else, that affects them. If you are not going to do it for yourself, do it for the people that depend on you to be the best you.
All winners have lost. All winners have got depressed. All winners have been heartbroken. All winners have been disappointed and confused, frustrated, and angry. But they kept moving forward. That's the only reason they're winners. Nobody is winning all the time. And nobody is.
Everything's gonna be okay. Everything you're worried about is gonna be okay. That too. whatever it is, that also is going to be fine.
But to give up and think that that you are a lost case, there are no lost cases. Unless you give yourself up, then it is lost.
You get to decide if I'm gonna be rich, poor, mediocre, plentiful, happy, sad. You have a decision to make.
Well, it happens small until it happens big. The reinvention occurs in the micro actions that you're taking every single day. The tiny little things that perhaps no one even notices that are creating muscle memory around new behaviors. Tiny little things repeated over time is what produces dramatic change. And it's like this curve, it's like this very slow curve. And everyone wants to talk about the pivot moment when it goes skyward. But the truth is, the real work is in the drudgery and the difficult, anonymous work of shoveling shit every single day. Don't leave before the miracle. And I take that as a lesson in persistence. Whatever it is that you're pursuing to achieve or create or express in the world, I think a lot of people back out before that happens.
If I told you that you're only 6 months away, 6 months away from the life you've always dreamt of, the health you've always dreamt of, the income, the lifestyle, or the body of work you've always dreamt of? What if I told you that your success was guaranteed and that the person you've always dreamt of becoming was only 6 months away? There's just one condition though. For that time, you have to show up each and every day and do all the things you and I both know you should be doing. How would you show up each day? If success were guaranteed and it was only 6 months away, what would you do differently? We all have a good idea of what we need to do, yet so few of us take action. You know what your perfect 6 months would look like. You already know who you want to be. Go be that person. Stop waiting for someone or something to come along and give you the permission to start living your own life.
Life goes on. Whatever happened in your past that continues to weigh on your mind, it doesn't matter. And you may say, well, certainly it matters. It drastically changed my life. It has thrown me off course and now I am dazed and confused. How could you say it doesn't matter? And to that I say, you are still in pursuit of legacy. You are still on the journey to achieve everything that you dream of. And today is just as good as any other to take a step in the right direction. In other words, circumstances do not affect your ability to choose what you do next. It is up to you to continue forward or remain stagnant, and that will never change.
You cannot control all of the external circumstances in your life, but you can control how you feel about those circumstances in your life. And once you recognize that taking control of your emotions and not allowing your emotions to control you, taking the wheel, allows you to be the master of your fate.
Take responsibility for your actions. Apologize when you're wrong, and acknowledge how you treat others when you're anxious, angry, or upset. Regardless of what happens in life, you still have control over how you respond. Everything you say and do is a choice. Blaming others is easy. Show a little patience, because the only thing you have control over is yourself.
Turn your feelings off when it comes down to you wanting to be better. What that means is when that alarm clock goes off, your feelings gotta go away if you want to achieve greatness. Your feelings have to go away.
People change when they hurt enough they have to, when they see enough they're inspired to, when they learn enough that they want to, and when they receive enough that they're able to. Those are the 4 times that people change.
It's like when it says good is the enemy of great, the comfort zone is the enemy of courage, right? The comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there.
Tell yourself the truth. Just be honest with yourself. All of us tell ourselves stories to avoid the things we don't want to do and to justify the things that we want to do. And you can get pretty good at believing your own story. You know when you have time and you're pretending you don't. You know when you can do something you don't want to do, but you pretend you can't. Deep down, every single one of us knows when it's real and when it's bullshit. And you might be really good at convincing other people, but you cannot truly convince yourself. Because although you may be able to justify it for a moment, you might be able to convince yourself for a moment, there still always exists that deep-rooted sense of shame of desiring to be a certain version of yourself and knowing damn well that you are choosing not to be that.
Why would you limit yourself from experiencing that? Why? Because you're scared, you're afraid, you don't know how it's gonna work out, it doesn't feel good, perfectly fine. But I've come to understand, I've come to realize that the beauty of life isn't in pursuing happiness, it's in pursuing experiences, and it's understanding that it's multidisciplinary, it's multilateral, it's not just one emotion. So I'm not in the business of pursuing happiness, I'm in the business of pursuing life. And life comes in different forms at different seasons.
Universes change, and life itself is but what we deem it. What he means is that things are going to happen, you are going to have experiences in life. Almost all of the important impacts of how those experiences change you are going to be the story that you tell yourself about what that experience means. You know, the framing that you place around the present moment largely determines your experience of it. And this is where having confidence in yourself, an undeniable stack of proof that you can deal with whatever is put in front of you, is super important.
And I always say no one's coming to save you. What I mean is they're not coming to save you from yourself. If you don't learn how to push yourself out of bed and out the door, if you don't learn how to hold yourself to a standard that's higher than your excuses, you will always procrastinate, you will always feel anxious, and you will always succumb to some sort of thing that's easier in the moment instead of pushing yourself to do the thing that's hard that helps you become the best version of you. I'm telling you, this is the secret to everything. Learn how to do things that are hard, learn how to do things that you hate, because when you learn how to hold yourself to a higher standard, you, my friend, are unstoppable because you will not stop yourself.
You deserve exactly what you're choosing to settle for. You are in control of what you accept. You are in control of what you allow in your life. Nobody, nothing, no situation can control your life without your permission.
Right? When we say a goal, a dream, or aspirate, we put it out there as if it's always gonna be smooth sailing, right? As if no opposition is gonna be present, as if no challenge is gonna be present. That's why you create habits. That's why you create routines. You don't just do it for the great times, you do it when all hell is breaking loose.
The difference between successful people and non-successful people is here. You have to change this. So if you're at a place in your life and you ain't happy with it, you have to change some things. But you have to make a conscientious decision that you're going to change. And it's not dependent on anybody else. It don't matter what your mama think. It don't matter what your coworkers think. It don't matter what your siblings think. It don't matter. They have nothing to do with it. This decision is yours and yours alone.
The heart of confidence is action. It's the willingness to try. And all you need is to know that if you try, you're not gonna die. You're just gonna learn something. And when you learn something, it removes a little bit of the insecurity so that it makes it slightly easier to try again.
Say you can't fix the problem if you don't know where it's coming from. And so you think and think and think about all your problems. And the more and more you think about them, the bigger they become. You go down this rabbit hole of why things are the way they are. Why am I sad? And usually the rabbit hole ends with, it's not my fault. It's because of my parents, my teacher, my friends, my boss. Now what? What good does knowing whose fault it is do for you? Nothing. Right now, you don't know if what you're telling yourself is the actual cold-hearted truth or just an excuse. So if you want to fix your problems, move first, think and analyze after.
What can one man do except forgive his best? If you fail, you try again. If you win, you try again and get better. So as long as you maintain and you stay consistent, you'll forever be a winner and a champion, and the people who love you in their rights because they support you nevertheless, as long as you're trying again and again and again.
To find your identity, to discover who you are, you must be with yourself. Isolate your mind, observe your thoughts, ask yourself questions, explore your imagination. And with time, not only will you find yourself, but you will find what brings you life. You will find purpose, something to chase. And now you have yourself, as well as a grand adventure.
The thing that's so interesting about being alive is that you're all in. No matter what you do, you're all in. This is going to kill you. So I think you might as well play the most magnificent game you can while you're waiting. Because do you have anything better to do? Why not pick the best thing possible that you could do? Because you're more powerful than you think. Way more powerful than you think. I mean, God only knows what you are in the final analysis. You're blind to your own weaknesses, but you're also blind to your own strengths. How far could you take that if you stopped wasting time, and if you stopped lying, and if you oriented yourself to the highest possible good that you could conceive of, and you committed to that? How much good could you do? Well, I would say, why don't you find out?
I want you to remember what you did when no one else believed in you. What did you feel? What did you see that no one else saw, that no one else felt? Remember that moment. That is your superpower. It's unique to each individual. It's at your disposal anytime you need it. It's yours. Nobody can take it from you.
You want to know a crazy universal truth though? If you want other people to love you, you're actually wanting love from yourself. If you want other people to accept you, it's because you actually don't accept yourself. See, the world is just a reflection of yourself. What you're searching for from the external world is really just what you're truly wanting from yourself. So you have to learn to fill yourself up first. And if you do that, you'll realize that you don't need anything from anyone.
This is the most incredible method I've ever seen. I learned it some years ago. Just rewrite your goals every morning. Because every time you write your goals down, you're programming them into your subconscious mind. When you program them into your subconscious mind, you set up a field of vibration within your brain. And this law of attraction, based on this field of vibration, attracts into your life people and circumstances that harmonize with your dominant thoughts. What you do is you create a force field, which we cannot explain scientifically, but it is a field of vibration that goes out from you and attracts back into your life everything that you need to realize your dominant goals. You can have anything you want. Anything that you can hold in your mind on a continuing basis, you can have. Anything that you are crystal clear about wanting and are willing to pay the price to get, you can have.
Your limitation has nothing to do with how much money you have right now. Your limitation has nothing to do with how many people believe in you or how many people do not believe in you. Your limitation has nothing to do with your past failures. Your only limitation has everything to do with your development and use of your imagination. If you can see it here and you have the courage, the audacity to work, believe, suffer to bring it out into the world, anything is possible for you.
Truly understand who you are. Learn yourself. Learn yourself. Learn your pros and your cons. Get your flaws. Get them out the way, but with you, not to nobody else. This is a you and you thing. Of the shit that you know you need to work on, I'm telling you people, when you really look yourself in the mirror and you start to pick yourself apart by yourself, there's only room for improvement.
Nothing here is permanent. That's why it is super valuable. Tomorrow you may be gone, I may be gone. That is what makes it super valuable, isn't it? So make this happen, that you in your life, you will not waste your life generating one negative thought, one negative emotion, one negative word, one negative nonsense. Do what really matters, because it's so brief and so precious.
150,000 people died yesterday though. Do you get that? And you're still here. And you can't find something to be grateful for? You're still complaining about your little teeny tiny struggles. But I bet that if given the option, every single one of those 150,000 people would be glad to change places with you right now. You're alive, your heart is beating, you have food, you have water, you have shelter, you have clothing, you have a few people that love you. You have so much to be grateful for. Stop focusing on the things that you don't have and the things that you want, and start focusing on what you do have. Life isn't about having the things that you want, it's about wanting the things that you have.
Can I stay true to what I said I would do, long after the mood that I've set it in has left? Can I stay true to what I said I would do, long after the mood that I've set it in has left? So what we read, what we watch, what we listen to are often precursors to the thoughts that we have. Oftentimes we look at the things that we're trying to accomplish. No, who is the person that I'm trying to become? I would often ask people, what's more important? What you acquire, what you accomplish, or who you become, right? Who we become will last a lot longer than the things that we seek to accomplish or even accomplish. And so when we talk about commitment device, when you have a goal, when you have aspirations, when you have things that you want to do, what are the things that we can put in place that can keep us committed?
Man, you've changed. You've changed. Success doesn't change you. It changes the individuals around you. Because what happens is now those individuals see your success. The same individuals that you say, you can't do it, and they watch you do it. Now what happens is, when I talk about with each win, it's a little bit more lonelier, because what you're doing is you're creating separation from everybody else. We have so many individuals in there paying attention to their enemies that they forget to watch their friends.
You don't start things and not finish. You don't quit. There's nothing that comes out of quitting besides knowing that you didn't finish. We finish everything. You start it, finish it. If you're gonna do it to try and be the best. Not be better than other people, be the best for you.
Do your best. Do the very best you could do. And look, whatever the outcome is, the outcome is. It's not like you can control the outcome. You can't. In life, you just can control your attitude. You can control your effort. You can control what you put into it. And sometimes you have to be okay with that.
A lot of people ask, when is my life going to change? Your life is going to change when you decide to change. Your decisions create your destiny. We want this, we want that, yet we don't do anything to change. If you decide to change, truly decide and are 100% committed, decide means to cut off from, no other option. If you do that and start moving towards the things that you want, there will be change. It might not be perfect, you might not get exactly what you want, but I 100% guarantee you that you will have change moving in the direction that you want.
Your dreams should terrify you. That's the point. They should push you outside your comfort zone because they are the opposite of a sure thing. But that doesn't mean following your dreams has to be impossible. Even on the hardest days, there should be nothing you'd rather fight for. So find that thing, the one that calls you to keep walking down that path. Trust it, because you're worthy of it.
Are you willing to sit in the struggle long enough to find your authentic voice?
Here's the next attitude disease: over-caution. Some people never will have much. They're too cautious.
Just the most basic ones of like living the life that you don't want, not wearing what you want to wear, not dating who you want to date, not living where you want to live. Like you're living at home and you want to move and your parents say no and you don't make the move, or you're dating a girl because she's socially accepted, by your friend group, she's safe, but like there's always some distance in between you, but you're like, I don't want to risk it, right?
If you can view yourself acting in a courageous and forthright manner and encountering the world and trying to improve your lot and taking risks, in a non-naive way, well, then you have something that you can comfort yourself with at night when you're wondering, what the whole damn point of your futile and miserable life.
We actually have to re-embrace risk on a personal level and on a societal level. We have to take the risk of freely exchanging ideas because that's where innovation happens.
But if this happens, and on top of that, if this was to happen, look at the fix I'd be in. I better not try. Then I'll tell you what changed my whole life when I finally discovered it's all risky. The minute you were born, it got risky.
We have to take the risk of being able to invest and reap the benefits of that risk. In a personal relationship, getting married is a risk. It is foregoing a current benefit for a future gain. Every decision you make is a risk. The biggest risk of all, of course, is the decision to be free and to take responsibility for your own choices.
If you think trying is risky, wait till they hand you the bill for not trying. If you think investing is risky, wait till you get the tab for not investing. See, it's all risky. Getting married is risky. Having children is risky. Going into business is risky. Investing your money is risky. It's all risky. Somebody says, yeah, but I'm looking for safety and security. Fine, then huddle in a corner.
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, there is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living. I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith.
If you go into the land of the stranger, which is exactly what you do when you try out any new endeavor, right? When you start a new job, or when you start a new educational enterprise, or when you start a new relationship, doesn't matter. You're out there in unexplored territory.
I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Fall forward. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Fall forward.
And the same thing happens to you when you start a new job. And you'll find that when you start a new job, especially if you stretched yourself a little bit beyond your zone of comfort, that you very much feel like an imposter, right, when you're first there. And then the question is, well, how do you master that? And the answer to that seems to be, well, it seems fairly straightforward. If the place that you're in has any degree of possibility, if it isn't inhabited by demons, so to speak.
Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks, and I'm sure you've probably heard that before, but I want to talk to you about why that's so important.
And the idea of just living an okay life just sounds so terrifying to me, that the freedom to fail over and over again is still more fulfilling to me. At least it feels like it's real than walking through kind of on autopilot. And so I think that's a lot of the choices that other people make that seem insane to me now. Didn't seem insane to me a decade ago. You know what I mean? I think it's just like, as you practice taking more agency, taking more responsibility for the decisions, then you just get better and better at it. And then it just seems more and more ridiculous. You're like, I just can't quit my job.
The best way to act is to lift your aim upward and attempt to get your act together and to tell the truth and to live a meaningful life and to do difficult things, all of that. And that is the best way of mastering a new territory. And by all probability, the degree to which you're able to act that out is precisely proportionate to the degree to which you're going to become a master in that territory. And that sort of thing can happen a lot faster than people think.
You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something.
Don't ask for security, ask for adventure. Better to live 30 years full of adventure than 100 years safe in the corner. And see, it's not important how long you live. What's important is how you live.
You'll see everything I'm talking about today. You'll see what I mean about taking risk or being willing to fail. Because taking risk is not just about going for a job. It's also about knowing what you know and what you don't know. It's about being open to people and to ideas.
You aren't who you used to be. It's okay if you made mistakes and aren't proud of the person you once were, because that's not who you are anymore. So it's time to put all of that behind you. Step into a new direction and keep moving forward. Believe me when I say that your past doesn't define you. You have a choice to wake up every day and start a new beginning. You aren't where you were last year, and you aren't who you were last night. Just keep fighting to get better, one day at a time.
A lot of people have this fantasy of like flipping the switch and becoming a new person and never going back to being their old self. And that's what it is. It's a fantasy. Because the reality is you wrestle with your old self every single day. You don't just make the decision to be different once. You have to make it over and over and over and over again. You're gonna have plenty of days where that old self comes knocking on your door. Those old habits come knocking at your door. Those old tendencies come knocking at your door, wanting to wedge themselves back into your life. And you have to resist and resist and resist. And sometimes you fail. Sometimes you have a moment of weakness and you end up being your old self for a moment. But as long as the next moment you choose to be better, you're gonna end up fine. It's when you don't resist and you don't try to be better and you spend the entire day being a loser. You spend the entire week being a loser. That's how you stay on the hamster wheel forever and never get anywhere you want to go.
If you're going to pursue success in your life, you have to decide you're going to be on a road that most people are not on. And a lot comes with taking that road. But the truth is, the journey to success can be a very painful journey, and you can feel very alone. And it's designed that way. And so it often bothers me when I hear people say, I need the support from my spouse or my friends, or I've got haters, or no one understands me, or I'm getting all this rejection and negative feedback from people. I've got haters. That's the road you're on. You're going to a place most people aren't going to go in their lives. And so what comes with deciding to be great is all of those things.
The most helpful frame was thinking about who I was becoming as the asset that I was building. So in real time, whenever I finished a long day's work, I was becoming more like the type of person who could work for 5 years without reward. And that would be part of the story I would someday tell. And so some of the biggest reinforcers I've had in my life has been future casting the story that I would tell about the shitty period that I was in.
Question for yourself. What is impossible? Never accept the limitations of someone else. Somebody told you that it's impossible. Don't even try. Give up before you even can try it for yourself. Never accept the goddamn limitations that someone else has placed upon you. Decide for your fucking self what is your limitation. Try it for your fucking self. Then that is the only way. The only fucking way to know if you can or can't do something.
Create your own self. Most people are missing something because there's so much trapped in there. There's so much in you that you have not unlocked. God, I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, because it's about 75% of you is still fucking in there. Still chained up because you just didn't want to find your willpower. Didn't want to find your soul, your will, your heart, your determination, your guts, your courage. And what that looks like, it looks scary.
This is the gap when we start. And this is the gap as you grow. Notice how you grow and they don't. So how do you close the gap? You gotta come back down. When you come back down, you lose. So you gotta keep going up. That's why closing that gap gotta be them catching up to you. And if they don't catch up, you gotta leave them behind.
Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean being hard on yourself when life interferes with your idea of being perfect. Consistency is getting back on track when life throws you off and not quitting when things get hard. The definition of consistency doesn't mean flawless. It means staying on course for as long as possible, knowing that falling off is almost guaranteed. Don't punish yourself for doing the best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going.
Talent is a pursued interest. In other words, anything that you're willing to practice, you can do.
I think the best way to prove your value is to work, is to learn, is to absorb, to be a sponge. You always want to outwork your potential. You know, as hard as you believe you can work harder than that.
Everything has stages of growth. Why in today's time are we forgetting that? Why are we forgetting that and expecting an immediate space of perfection.
It doesn't matter what challenges it is that you are facing there. It is the fundamental principle behind it that you do not run away. That you are open for everything that is being thrown at you. It is this type of mindset to also understand I didn't ask for an easy life. I take what comes. If it leaves, I let it pass.
You're exactly where you need to be in life. All the confusion and frustration you feel is part of the journey. Don't worry about being behind or never finding your place in this world. Everything is already working for you behind the scenes. All you need to do is stay open to the opportunities. Let go of the outcome and stay grounded within yourself. The rest will unfold exactly how it's supposed to.
There's a moment when every boy realizes no one's coming to save him. And that's when he becomes a man.
The best day of a man's life is the day he realizes that nobody's coming to save him.
And I got bad news for you. There's nobody coming. There's nobody coming to save you. There's nobody coming to help you. You are the only one that's going to be able to save you.
No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to turn the TV off. The bottom line is, no one's coming.
Nobody's coming to save you. It's up to you.
So a lot of this isn't your fault, why you do some things you do, why you feel the way you feel. But no one's coming back to save your ass. You have to go back to where this shit started, wherever that place is for everybody, and have the courage to go back there and start fixing what broke you.
The problems in your life are your own dang fault. And so the answer into fixing the problems in your life are in your own dang hands.
It's time to make a decision. It is time to decide who you're going to be. Are you going to be one of the millions and millions and millions of people that wishes and wants and dreams and thinks about who they want to be? Or are you going to be the person that actually becomes it?
Your potential is determined by how much uncertainty you're willing to embrace.
Whatever position you put yourself in, you got to work yourself out of.
If you can be honest with yourself about what you truly want and take responsibility for creating it, you will.
Because you have this idea, you have this dream, you have this vision that nobody else can see.
The vision that you glorify in your mind, the ideal that you enthrone in your heart, this you will build your life by. This you will become.
No one's gonna come to help me. No one's gonna come to help me. It's me against me, period.
Are you going to lead with action, or are you going to lead with empty promises?
And a lot of people don't want to flip the script and say, the reason I'm not where I am in life is because of myself. That is a very difficult statement to admit to.
What is life? Are you happy with it? And if so, is just the intake and outtake of breath makes you put a smile on your face? You haven't earned that. What have you done with your life to make it something else besides the normality of everybody else? The intake and the outtake of what you call life is nothing more than time. And unless done something with, it's forgotten about. There's no footprint of your existence left for anyone else to follow. Life is time. And a life that's remembered, where a footprint is followed behind in footsteps of inspiration and motivation, is when time is met with opportunity and action. They collide to be a life of remembrance.
You don't have to be special. You just have to get up every day, put one foot in front of the other, and work hard to do a little better and be a little better than you were yesterday. And one of these days, you are going to wake up and realize that you not only changed yourself, but you are now in the middle of living the life you were once jealous of.
There was something inside me that made me the person who I am today. So my mindset always was the same, exactly the same as I have right now. I'm like, if someone did it, I also can do it. And if no one did it, I can be the first one to do it.
If you're at that point in your life where you just can't take it anymore, stand your ass up and take on life again. Because yes, you can. I'd imagine you see no end to the pain, and for that I'm terribly sorry, but the pain doesn't own you. You can feel it all you want, but you're not gonna let it paralyze you anymore. Whatever takes you to that breaking point is done, because you don't break. You stand the hell up and get better in the face of every single bit of it.
And we want to think that it's other people, our past, our circumstances that are taking away our power from us and making it difficult to work. It's not. It's you. You're the common denominator in all of your failures. And even if external factors do play a role, focusing on blame is just going to keep you stagnant. It doesn't matter what was going on around you. What are you going to do now?
I think people struggle a lot with the concept that something can be both painful and empowering. It's this hurts, therefore it's bad. When taking full accountability for your life with all of the deficiencies that you have may be the most painful thing that you do when you look at yourself in the mirror and say, this is my fault. But in saying, this is my fault, those are also the first two steps of progress, because it's my fault, not anyone else's, which means it's my responsibility and my action that can change that.
If I could instill one piece of advice into all human beings, it would simply be to believe in yourself beyond, without a doubt. Believe in yourself, and don't rely on anybody to believe in you. Don't rely on anybody to push you or make you better. Believe in yourself and only yourself, and allow that human being to make you a better person.
Stop wasting your gift. Every single day that you have the opportunity to get better and work on your goals and become the person you want to be is a gift. It is a blessing. There is going to come a day where the opportunity to achieve your goals will be gone. But that day is not today. And you have an obligation to take advantage of the opportunity that is right in front of you. The opportunity that if you keep ignoring, it might just pass you by.
I can't do that because I was born here, or I can't do that because I have this issue, or I can't do that because they made fun of me. And you know what's gonna happen? Nothing. You're gonna get more of the same, you're gonna get laughed at more, you're gonna be ashamed more, you're gonna be frustrated more, and you're gonna really regret at the end of your life that you put off taking responsibility for yourself and building yourself into what could be.
And the reason why some of you are not where you're supposed to be, you've given yourself an option. You've given yourself an out. You've given yourself an excuse. You've given yourself room not to do it. Yeah, you hear what I'm saying? You better go inside. You still looking outside for the stuff that's already inside. You still looking for someone to save you when you already your superhero. You looking for some information from somebody when you already got what you need in your head. It's just time for you to get up and be the best version of you. You must be your best version because somebody is counting on you.
And because you're only ever going to do the things that you feel like doing right now or that feel good right now, unless you understand that you've got to parent yourself, you got to push yourself, you're not going to make your dreams come true. You're just not. We're not wired that way. You weren't born that way, you weren't that way when you were growing up, and you're certainly not that way as an adult. And there's a tremendous amount of liberation that comes when you accept the fact that you're always going to need to give yourself a push.
The version of you that got here is expired. It was built to survive the last chapter, not lead the next one. You want a new level? Then build a new identity, new standards, new discipline, new mindset. You don't get to keep your old habits and expect upgraded results. That's not how this works. Figure out who the next version of you is and start becoming them now. Because the truth is, you either evolve or you stay stuck. And stuck doesn't serve you anymore.
Well, I think the deck is stacked against everyone to some degree because life is very difficult and we all die. It's like, well, what's the alternative? You just take responsibility for that and try to struggle uphill because the alternative makes everything worse.
Nobody is going to save you. Nobody is going to make it easy for you. Nobody can live your life for you, endure your pain for you, choose your struggles for you. Nobody can experience the growth that comes from loss for you. Nobody can build your confidence through 1,000 tiny failures for you. Nobody can lie awake crying about some inconsolable loss that hurts so much it creates a bottomless pit of emptiness for you. Nobody can learn the lessons for you, rebuild the pieces for you, gain the strength for you, find the confidence for you, earn the rewards for you. Nobody can write your story for you. Nobody can tell you what it all meant. Nobody can make the impossible choices and live with the eternal consequences and suffer through indecision, doubt, and regret for you. You get to do that. You have the honor and privilege to suffer and overcome that suffering, only to suffer and overcome again and again and again. This is called being alive. It's called being human. And no, nobody else can do that for you either.
But we have to start taking responsibility for ourselves.
The heaviest things in life aren't iron and gold, but unmade decisions. The reason you are stressed is that you have decisions to make and you're not making them.
It's Murphy's Law. When things go wrong, they always seem to happen at once and they just compound on top of each other. And it's pretty easy sometimes to feel beaten when you're faced with all those issues and all those problems and they all hit you at the same time. But let me tell you, that doesn't mean give up. In fact, it means the opposite. It means it's time for you to fight harder, to dig in. It means it's time for you to go on the warpath.
But there will be the moment when the only person left to rely on is yourself. It is therefore my first suggestion to question and ask yourself, how can I learn to properly navigate without guidance? Now just take a moment to imagine you're the captain on a ship located on the vast ocean. What you are facing is stormy weather, dark and heavy clouds, and the ship is carried along the up and downs of the waves. In such a situation, I strongly trust that it is not enough to purely rely your actions on intellectual knowledge. To sharpen the senses and being able to see possibilities beyond what the eyes are able to see. This truly is a sign of right knowledge. If you can list the things that have happened in your life and you can put that on a list and you've somehow made it past all of this to be in a position where you can still go make some stuff happen,
That's what you have in common with every hero of every story, of every autobiography, is how much happened to you that should have broke you, that did not break you, so that you were able to then arrive.
What's the heaviest thing that you carry around with you? The heaviest thing you carry around with you constantly is your feelings. Where do you carry your feelings? In your heart. So before you can delete the mind, you got to delete here. Think about every time your heart was broken. What happened? It opened your eyes.
If you do not have clear goals for your life, you are condemned forever to work for those who do. You see, in life, it's very simple. Either you are working toward the accomplishment of your goals, or you're working toward the accomplishment of other people's goals.
If you can be honest with yourself about what you truly want and take responsibility for creating it, you will. You don't have to be special. You just have to get up every day, put one foot in front of the other, and work hard to do a little better than you were yesterday. And one of these days, you are going to wake up and realize that you not only changed yourself, but you are now in the middle of living the life you were once jealous of.
And then you get started. And I'm going to tell you right now, it won't be easy. It will be hard because life is hard. That's what life is. And these challenges that you face, they're gonna do their best to take you down. Do not let them. Stand up, dig in. Line up those problems and confront them, face them, fight them. Do not let them bring you down. In fact, let those challenges raise you up. Let them elevate you. Let their demands and their trials make you stronger.
You know exactly what you need to do. Stop pretending like you don't know. You continuously scroll on the internet looking for more answers, looking for more information, looking for another way to inspire yourself to move in the direction you already know you want to move in. You're completely wasting your time. You are looking for a substitute for action. You are looking for a way around action, but there isn't one. The only way forward is action.
This is about finishing the race. When you have a goal in mind and a goal set in your head, never let anyone take you off your vision, take you off your goal. Never let any man or any woman steal your glory, steal your future, steal your dreams. Never let anybody bring you down. You are somebody.
The safe road is going to pay off. There are many payoffs to it, but I can't be there and have my soul be on a completely different track. It's always worth losing. It's always worth risking.
So in the future, you look back at these struggles and you say to them, thank you. You made me better.
The undisputed first law of personal growth is this, that people will never rise above the opinion of themselves. You see, when we're able to start addressing things like our unconscious programming, when we start to create the best habits that we can by programming ourselves consciously, when we start grabbing that compass needle and bringing it over to the right direction so that the 95% of the time we're sleeping awake, we're able to be who we need to be. That's when we can start to achieve the real game in town, which is self-mastery. See, before you spend another penny on workshops or skills or anything, work on yourself. See, mastering the game of self throughout human history has been the #1 recommendation of virtually everybody that achieved it and then preached the benefits of it to people that usually weren't listening. But by mastering our sense of self, we're able to walk into a room where everything's descending into chaos and retain our center. When everything's breaking down around us with the eye of the storm, and it's like, move, I'll handle it. See, that's the best way that you'll be able to handle uncertainty. And when we commit to self-mastery, we give ourselves the best shot of becoming the best and greatest versions of ourselves that we can be.
The only way to live is know you're going to die. If you're afraid to die, you'll never be able to live.
The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Go for the discipline because it weighs ounces. The regret weighs tons because it can accumulate.
Proud of how you've been showing up lately. There's a lot on your plate, no doubt. And it might feel like you're falling behind, but you're not. You're overcoming stressful situations. You're fighting for your mental health. You're doing your best. The only thing you're falling behind on is giving yourself the credit you deserve. Because at any given moment, you're doing way better than your inner critic would like to admit.
You have a plan and you have a process. When opposition, adversity, challenges, uncertainty pops up, the problem doesn't look as big. The adversity doesn't look as big. The challenges don't look as big when you got a plan and a process in place. Now, when you don't got a plan and a process in place, adversity and opposition shows up, uncertainty shows up, problems look real big. Yeah. Adversity looks real big. You forget about the sacrifice, you forget about the long hours, you forget about the vision, you forget about the mission because you don't have a plan or process, right? The process makes you stick to whatever it is that you're doing.
How bad do you want it? We all know when we're relaxed exactly the person we want to become. The question is, do we believe we can become it? Without that belief, every journey will run into a debate. That debate is when pain starts to fill the body. You weigh the temporary pain versus a lifetime of pride.
Champions find a way to make it happen. No matter how long it takes, they find a way. Champions find a way to get through their nerves. So don't be ashamed to say you're nervous, but find a way to get over it.
Passion and the drive has to be followed by an action. That's the hardest part. People don't want to have that action. Dreams want to live just like everybody else. And if you don't bring them to life, somebody else will. And you're going to be sitting there back thinking, man, I could have, I should have, I would have. Boy, you had your chance. You got to deliver. You got to have action. You got to deliver.
Ever tried? Ever failed? No matter. Try again. Fail again. Fail better. The world is yours.
You could either do the work today to become your highest version tomorrow, or tomorrow you can feel a lifelong of regret. That's a given. The people who know that they were meant for more and didn't go for more end up with a lifelong state of regret. And the reason for that is because they didn't want to hurt the people around them, didn't want to hurt family members, but instead they gave in to the life of average just so they can blend in and not stand out. And years later, they regret not doing the things that they could have done to become a winner.
We often don't realize we're in control. We're in control of our own lives, and we can make different choices. And if the things in our life are not bringing us joy and happiness, if our career that we've devoted all of our lives to isn't bringing us joy, we can change them. If we decide our relationship is not the right relationship, we don't have to suffer in that relationship.
Stay in your comfort zone. That's where you will fail.
To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful.
Ask yourself, what do you really want? What do you really want? I mean, down inside, if you could have anything you want, what do you really want? Let your mind take off. You're a creative being. There's nothing on the planet that's like you.
Give me evidence that you're not qualified to go get that. Give me evidence that you're not qualified for a great life. And you have none. You are ultra qualified. No one can tell us what we're capable of except us. And when we believe these truths, it's over. You're unkillable.
You have the ability to take a sledgehammer to anything in your life and remake it. Life is clay, so long as you realize that you can mold it and shape it and change it to do what you want to do.
If you knew what you were doing, then you would be stagnating, because you'd be doing nothing new. And so if you're going to do something new, then that is what would be the catalyst for growth. And so you can't want to grow and also want to know everything you're doing at the same time. It's like the two beliefs contradict one another. And so I think that's a lot of the discontent that people suffer from, is they want two things that are polar opposites. They want the really strong character, they want the easy life. Like, one is the price of the other. You don't want hardship. Hardship creates growth. And so they want both, and you can't.
You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. That's the challenge. And of course, the other side of the coin reads, unless you change how you are, you'll always have what you got.
There are people who will want you to live in your past, about the mistakes you've made, how many times you've had failed relationships, how many times you've fallen off your bike, fallen off of goals, fallen off of your aspirations. It's time for you to stop letting others dictate your pace. Instead of being worried about, concerned about, or fearful about failure, or even consumed by the fact that you have a past, you've already surpassed your past. You've lived days past it, so you might as well make the days count. Now that you are here, start counting now.
You are going to regret not taking the hard road sooner. I know you have big ambitions and you want to do these big things, and that's great. But all those things that you don't want to do, all that work that you're avoiding, is going to be the reason why you don't get there. What you fail to realize is that if you avoid the work, you avoid the result.
If you're going to build anything great in your life, it's going to be through force. It's going to be through complete, rigid dedication and discipline to move forward. And when the people come and they get in your ear and they say, take it easy, you're working too hard, you got to learn to go with the flow, just know that if you listen to those people, you will be exactly like those people.
And every day, the same answer came back to me. Do you want to be on your deathbed knowing that you could, but you didn't? So why do you care about what people are thinking when they're not trying to go where you're trying to go?
That's gonna happen when you get to the end of your life, or you get to a time where this is over. You're gonna have the greatest poison in your soul. You know what that is? Regret. I wish I would have did more. I wish I would have been there more. And you will never live in peace by living in regret. So I want to tell all of you, when it comes to success, make sure you make it holistic.
I may not know now, but one day I will, and that's what faith is at its core. I may not understand right now, but I trust that one day I will. And it's not my job to try to understand everything. It's my job to continue to make the next step, continue to just focus on this moment that I have in front of me.
And not just the false enthusiasm of just pure positive thinking. You've got to get excited over some very basic things. One is get excited over your ability to make yourself do the necessary things. Because discipline is major step one toward personal progress. And anytime a person wishes to, they can make major changes in their life, personally and socially and financially. It doesn't ever have to be the same after today. No telling what you could do today if you really wish to.
I want to be the one that says, "Okay, I'm going to do it anyway. I know I don't feel good today, but I'm going to go out there and I'm going to prove to myself that even on days that it doesn't feel right, I push myself." The only way to gain confidence in yourself is to build something. It's not to wait for it to happen.
Whenever you think you can't, confidence comes from the thing that you built. You must build belief. You must build confidence. It can't be like, hey, I'm gonna knock that shit out. You gotta look over here and say, I can knock that shit out. It's belief, and it's built on what you put in to yourself.
Get up, move towards that challenge, whatever that challenge is. Move towards that challenge and go attack it. And you may be successful and you may not be successful, but you will be better. And the next challenge, you can be more prepared for. And you're gonna fail, and you're gonna fail, and you're gonna fail, and you're gonna fail, and then you're gonna win.
Don't accept that fact right now, and you just continue to try to do things the easy way. When you eventually accept this reality of life, all you're going to be doing is left wondering, where would you be today if you had just taken the hard road sooner?
Faith is knowing the door is going to open for your life that don't even exist yet. Faith is knowing that the only possibilities that exist are the ones you create. I need you to believe with your faith. I need you to know if I'm doing the right things, if I'm showing up, if I'm watering the seed, if I'm taking care of my business, if I'm taking care of myself, then at the right time, maybe not your time, but at the perfect time that's meant for your life, that harvest, that crop, that dream, that vision, that purpose, that goal, that breakthrough is going to happen.
In the shadows of our grief, hearts heavy with loss and minds burdened by the weight of the world, we confront the stark reality of our existence. Pain, sorrow, and despair are unavoidable companions on this journey called life. These emotions, though often unwelcome, are intrinsic to our human experience. They remind us of the depth of our love, the significance of our connections, and the fragility of our existence. But even in our darkest hours, there is a flicker of light, a reminder that we are not alone. Each tear shed, each sigh of anguish, is a testament to our shared humanity. We are bound together by our struggles, and it is in our collective suffering that we find the strength to endure. This shared journey, while fraught with challenges, also offers us the opportunity to grow, to learn, and to find deeper meaning in our lives. Life is fragile, and its beauty is often fleeting. We are reminded of this when we lose those we love, when our dreams are shattered, and when we face the harshest trials. It is easy to feel overwhelmed, to succumb to the crushing weight of hopelessness. Yet it is precisely in these moments that we must remember the resilience of the human spirit. Our capacity to adapt, to persevere, and to find hope even in the bleakest of times is what defines us as human beings. We may stumble and we may fall, but we rise again. We carry the memories of those we have lost within us, and their spirit fuels our determination to press on. Their dreams become our dreams, their hopes our hopes. We honor them by living fully, even as we carry the ache of their absence. It is through this living, through our actions and our choices, that we keep their legacy alive. We must remember that every step forward, no matter how small, is a testament to their enduring influence in our lives. The road ahead may be long and arduous, and there will be times when we feel we cannot go on. But let us find solace in the quiet strength that resides within us. Let us draw courage from the love and support of those around us. In our grief, we discover the depths of our compassion, the breadth of our empathy, and the power of our unity. Together, we can face any challenge, overcome any obstacle, and find a way to move forward. As we navigate this difficult path, let us hold on to the belief that despite the sorrow, there is still beauty to be found. In the laughter of a child, the warmth of a friend's embrace, and the gentle touch of a sunrise, we find glimpses of the hope that sustains us. These moments, though fleeting, remind us that life is still worth living, that there is still joy to be experienced, and that we are capable of finding happiness even in the midst of our pain. Life is a mosaic of joy and sorrow, each piece integral to the whole. Though we may be consumed by sadness, let us not lose sight of the moments that bring us light. Let us remember that even in the darkest night, the stars still shine. These stars, symbols of hope and guidance, remind us that there is always a way forward, always a path to follow, even when it seems hidden by the shadows of our grief. So let us move forward with a quiet determination, honoring our pain while embracing the possibility of healing. Let us live not just for ourselves, but for those who can no longer do so. In our shared journey, we will find strength, we will find purpose, and we will find a way to carry on. Each day is an opportunity to honor their memory, to live in a way that reflects their values and their dreams, and to make a positive impact on the world around us. In our pursuit of healing, let us also be kind to ourselves. Grief is not a linear process. It ebbs and flows, and it takes time. Allow yourself to feel, to mourn, and to heal at your own pace. Surround yourself with those who understand, who support you, and who can offer you comfort. Remember that it is okay to seek help, to lean on others, and to find solace in community. As we continue this journey together, let us remember that we are not defined by our losses, but by how we choose to respond to them. We have the power to transform our pain into something meaningful, to use our experiences to help others, and to create a legacy of resilience and hope. In this way, we honor the past, embrace the present, and look forward to a future filled with possibility.
If you leave things the way they are now, you'll regret it for the rest of your life.
You just gotta truly believe in yourself. it's hard, you know, there's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs. There's a lot of people telling you that it's not gonna happen. There's a lot of people telling you that it is gonna happen when they have no reason to. It's really all about how much trust you have in yourself. You gotta have a vision. You gotta have something you wanna do with this, and you gotta be willing to work for it.
Most people will doubt you at the beginning, including yourself, but that will all change if you keep putting in the work. Yes, you'll make mistakes, but there's no substitute for effort. That's something that nobody can take away from you. It's hard to count somebody out that never quits, and that's you. They don't see it yet, and you might not either, but soon you will. Stick with it until you figure it out.
Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to come save you. There'll be people that'll help you. There'll be people in your path that give you counsel, give you advice, but there's nobody that's going to come save you. The brilliance of life is you're going to have to figure it out on your own. You're going to have to learn the hard lessons. You're going to have your heart broken. You're going to have to lose money. You're going to have the sickness and the illness. You're going to have these experiences to really callous yourself in life and learn how to get done on your own, because there's nobody that's going to come save you.
You know what you want for your future, but you kind of want it. It means you want it, but only if it's not too difficult or if it's not an inconvenience. So the question is not, do you want it? The question is, how bad do you want it?
We got to quit looking for the reasons we can't, and we got to start looking for the reasons we can't. Anybody can make anything work, bro. It's just, what are you willing to do? And the answer needs to be anything, because it's that hard. You have to be willing to do whatever it takes to get what it is you're trying to create. And that means anything.
I'll get to this point and then I'll be happy. I'll get to this point and then I'll do this. There's always like that thinking of the future as a point of rest or a point of achievement. Don't let life slip you by because you're so focused on the future, but don't obsess your whole life about that, because you'll miss out on what's happening right in front of you. Because at the end of the day, life is incredibly short. This is it. You only get this one life and it's going by pretty fast. You don't want to mess around. Should be a sense of urgency, I think, in your life. That's how I try to live my life, with a sense of urgency that every day is kind of precious and matters, and you're not going to get a second chance at this.
Stop taking things so seriously. No one is getting out of this game alive, literally. In 3 generations, no one will even remember your name. And if that doesn't give you liberation to just drop your f***ing problems and find some joy, I don't know what will. Life is inherently ridiculous and guaranteed to end sooner or later. So you might as well enjoy the ride.
Master consistency. Become loyal to your path. Continue to remain focused on your destination or refuse to be distracted. Isolate your mind. Surround yourself with things that align with your vision and your vision only. Utilize every minute of your day to cover more ground, bringing you closer to success. You may be asking how to achieve this mindset, but my question to you is, why would you choose otherwise? Why would you choose to be inconsistent?
Challenging somebody today. You gifted, you talented, you got it going on, but you do not demand of yourself more than your boss demands of you. Your boss give you a check and you Johnny on the spot. Your boss give you a check, you right there on time. But when you have to be on time for yourself, when you have to do something for yourself, you fall short. I'm just telling you, if you don't do more for you, at least do what you was willing to do for them. I'm telling you, if you can't do it for yourself, find that same tenacity that you found to give them what they asked for, to give you what you asked for. You owe you. Don't nobody else owe you.
You may not have had the year you wanted so far, but maybe you're having the year that you need. Grow, learn to be alone, and find peace with your darkest thoughts. Maybe this year, although not what you wanted, is exactly what you needed to prepare you for better things to come. Remember, it's all part of the journey, so just stay the course. You do not believe that you will be rewarded for your struggles or the discomfort that you tolerate in efforts to stay loyal to your path. But you must know that if you try your hardest at anything, you will find success. You cannot lose.
If you really want to be transformed, you have to live an intentional life. Most people don't lead their life, they accept their life. And when you accept your life, you are living on things that are not worthy of your time and effort and energy. To go uphill, you have to be intentional. Nobody ever went uphill by accident. You've never read a book on accidental achievements. You have to be intentional with what you do and who you are.
If you will change, everything will change for you. You don't have to change what's outside. All you've got to change is what's inside. To have more, you simply have to become more.
I wish you the courage to be warm when the world would prefer you be cool. I wish you success sufficient to your needs. I wish you failure to temper that success. I wish you joy in all your days. I wish you sadness so that you may better measure joy. I wish you gladness to overbalance the grief. I wish you humor and a twinkle in your eye. I wish you glory and strength to bear the burdens. I wish you sunshine on your path and storms to season your journey.
In order for something new to come, something old must go. And that old can sometimes mean let go of what you know until now.
Most people try to create a new personal reality as the same personality, and it doesn't work. You literally have to become someone else. If you keep thinking the same thoughts, keep demonstrating the same behaviors, keep living by the same feelings and emotions, your personal reality is going to stay exactly the same. But if you have new thoughts that lead to new choices, that demonstrate new actions, that create new experiences, that cause you to feel differently, you will begin to walk into a new future.
Sometimes you will have to convince yourself that it's possible, that you can go from zero to hero, from peasant to king, if you change the way that you think. And if you don't know how to change the way that you think, begin to digest new information. Stay away from the haters, stay away from the losers, stay away from the people with weak minds and weak mentalities, and find those people that empower you. Find those people, elevate your spirit and your soul, and understand that your potential, my friend, is limitless. You, my friend, are limitless, but you must believe. And if you can believe, all things are possible.
All you have is this moment, so you have to continuously focus on bringing attention to this moment and keep reminding yourself that what decision can I make in this moment that is aligned with the best version of myself, that is aligned with the vision of where I'm trying to get to.
If you look at stories of great men, of great women in history, that story always has a lot of disadvantages that were overcome. There is something in the process of overcoming hardship that creates greatness. Most people quit through that process. If you can survive it, then your story will be a great one.
You got to bet on you. It's so funny that you believe in others, you would bet on others, you would support others, you would be there for others, but when it comes to you, you take a darn back seat. I don't understand it. I'm gonna bet on me.
I needed somebody and they didn't do it. So I decided at that point, I guess, I don't need you. The only person I need is me. And I'll be damned if I'm ever gonna need somebody. I ain't needing somebody. I'll be damned if I'm ever gonna need somebody again.
Don't be afraid of people rejecting. Stick to your guns. That fear, it just withers the soul and makes what you create just like everything else out there. But when you think, no, I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna mind what's different about me, I'm gonna be bold and confident, those who are trying to follow all the trends don't have impact.
Find out what you're good at. Find out what craft or thing or what are you good at,
what you have an aptitude for. Do you like history? Do you like math? Do you like artwork? Do you like music? You find out what you have a natural inclination towards. You find out what you're good at. And then you figure out how to help other people with that thing that you're good at. And once you figure that out, that's purpose. 2 + 2 = 4. So what are you good at? How can you help other people? That's your purpose.
Everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use. Shake off this notion that life is there and you're just going to live in it. Embrace it, change it, improve it, make your mark upon it.
Remember, you guys only have one life on this earth, okay? It's not too late to change everything. Get up, guys. Make today the day.
The more I listen to this, the better my life gets. If they don't have what you want, don't listen to what they say. There's no greater waste of time than justifying your actions to people who have a life you don't want.
Build a vision of what you would like to accomplish between now and the end of the year. And then make a written description of that vision. Paint the picture with words. Vision. Vision is going to direct your life if you let it. Use it constructively. See what you want. Don't spend any time thinking of what you don't want. When you get a picture in here, make it big, make it beautiful. You'll be glad you did.
What we feel is what manifests. It's the energy that we put out that we get back. Claim it in your heart right now. Who do you want to be? How do you want to feel? What do you want to give? And what do you want to receive? And ask yourself that. Design your day every single day. You have the power within you to design your life. What you see is a reflection of what you believe. So are we going to say yes to a new belief system now?
Do the thing and you'll get the energy to do the thing. Do the thing and you'll get the energy to do the thing. Don't wait, start right now whether you're ready or not. Just say, I'm going after it, I'm going to get it, and your present circumstances got nothing to do with where you're going.
You've got to accept yourself for what you've done wrong. Do your best. And also find some difficult to do, because that gets away a lot of the anxiety that you carry around in your body. Difficult things make regular life less difficult.
Anything is possible here, that you're only limited by your imagination. Now, it's not going to be handed to you. You have to find your way through. And there will be times that you're going to hit dead ends, but you have to pick yourself back up. You have to be smart. You have to calculate another route, and then you gotta keep moving forward.
At some point, everything's gonna go south on you. Everything's gonna go south, and you're gonna say, this is it. This is how I end. Now you can either accept that, or you can get to work. That's all it is. You just begin. You do the math, you solve one problem, and you solve the next one.
And it doesn't matter how you get knocked down in life, because that's gonna happen. All that matters is that you gotta get up.
Work hard. Be somebody. Be something more than what you see in the mirror. Let the world be your mirror. Don't let them judge you, because the mirror can't judge you. You judge what you see in the mirror.
This is it, man. Showtime. This is your moment. You've been praying for an opportunity. Here it is. You're about to walk into that season of your life. I just hope you're ready for it.
The odds of you being on this earth is 1 in 400 trillion. So you were chosen to be here. The only difference between you and the person who is going after their purpose is the choice of being chosen, believing that they are chosen. Those who are great are those who choose to be chosen.
Discipline is rooted in the truth we tell ourselves. That's what it is. Discipline is rooted in the truth we tell ourselves. Because if you tell yourself the truth, and the truth is, I'm not happy with where I'm at. That's the truth. The truth is, I can do more. The truth is,
I can do much better than I'm doing right now. And if that's the real truth, if that's what you believe, if you believe that to be the truth, you won't have to find more discipline. Discipline will find you.
If you value your goals, you need structure. You need a routine that gives you the best possible chance at achieving them. Whatever it is for you, find a way to start your day that makes you feel your best. There's a good chance you already know what that is, and it's likely something hard that you'd rather put off. You will always fall into a routine. You either create one or it will be handed to you. You choose.
You don't have the answers, and it's probably pretty damn scary. And I say that's okay, because that is how it is. This is the reality that many of you are facing. This is the world that we live in.
In a world filled with noise, your voice, your actions, and your decisions have the power to carve out silence. A silence in which you can find your true self and your path to success. It's easy to get lost in the crowd, to follow the well-trodden path. But your journey, it's unique. It's not defined by the cacophony of doubts and fears, but by your ability to rise above it. Embrace the solitude of ambition. Let it be your guide in the chaos. Remember, the tallest trees grow in the deepest silence.
Feelings are like waves in the mind, and you just want to just be with them. You want to be in the misery. You want to be in the pain. You want to be in the emotional suffering. Just be there without any resistance, as if you're letting waves just move through you, and watch it, stay with it, and they will dissolve. Like waves dissolving back into the ocean, the feelings will dissolve into the mind.
Your gift will make room for you. And in time, that room will be large enough to stand in. And then the room will be filled with people. And then the people filled with your light. And when they leave, they take that light with them. You see, your light, when confined to you, only goes as far as you can travel. But sharing your light with one other person, 2 other people, 3 other people, now that might just change the world.
Where you're going, right? Where you're destined to go, it's not supposed to feel good all the time. It's not supposed to be easy. You know, so when you're going through seasons of discomfort, seasons of feeling overwhelmed, feeling pulled in a lot of different directions, understand that it's a part of you getting to the place that you want to be, you getting to the best version of yourself. It's all playing a role. And you know, like that vision that you have for yourself, you know, the dreams and the aspirations you have for yourself, like, they're not easy to attain.
Like some people's expectations, their belief systems are, life should be taking care of me. I got to show people that life is calling to you. You need to deliver something to life. Because as long as you're waiting for somebody to take care of you, then you're always the victim. You're always waiting. Whereas if you think that I'm here to deliver something to life, I have a responsibility to life to give something, not just get something. That's when people feel alive, because what you get never makes you happy.
Don't walk through the world looking for evidence that you don't belong, because you will always find it. Don't walk through the world looking for evidence that you're not enough, because you'll always find it. Our worth and our belonging are not negotiated with other people.
Persevere. Nothing worthwhile is easy. No one of achievement has avoided failure, sometimes catastrophic failures. They keep at it. They learn from mistakes. They don't quit.
You were given a gift, but let me tell you right now, it comes at a cost. Your gift is not free. What's the cost? You have to work for it. You have to work at it. You have to manifest it. You have to grow it. You have to get better at it. You have to get better at sharing your gift. You have to cultivate your gift so much that you can share it. Your God-given gift doesn't guarantee that you will succeed. It just guarantees you an opportunity. And let me tell you what an opportunity you have.
Your potential is like that tree, waiting to rise above the noise, to reach heights unseen. This is your moment to tune out the distractions, to focus on what truly matters. Your growth, your journey, your impact, your success. Rise above the noise and let your actions declare to the whole world your purpose.
And so what's the point of climbing this mountain that the world says we should climb in order to be successful and happy, and realize at the end of a career, at the end of a life, we've climbed the wrong mountain?
Two things we get every day. That's a chance and a choice. Let's put more value on the choices that we make, because our choices is what determine our destination.
Believe in your vision when no one believes in your vision or the world believes in your vision.
You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path. And that will make all the difference.
Maybe the secret to success isn't in everything that we once thought. Maybe the secret to success instead is asking ourselves, what if? Maybe it's in the curiosity to want to know, what would happen if? What would happen if I got up one more time? Even though I've fallen flat on my face 10 times, what if I got up 11 times? What if, even though I'm tired and I'm out of breath and my heart is ready to beat out of my chest, what if I made it to the top of the hill?
If you reach for the stars and fall, that landing will not hurt as bad as the regret of never jumping in the first place, of never going after your dreams, of never truly finding out what you're made of never truly finding out how far you could go in this life.
That mindset of success, that mindset of I can make this happen, that mindset of I can be that person that I'm talking about and dreaming about. But in order to do better, I have to get better. See, it starts with me. It starts with me improving who I am. That makes me better at everything that I do. When I improve who I am, when I focus internally, when I invest in me first, that's what makes me better at all the things that I do. And in order to be successful, I have to believe that I can be successful. And that happens through self-improvement. When I invest in me wholeheartedly, I can start to believe and see those things coming to fruition.
Paying too much attention to the immediate pleasures of life. There's so many of these other distractions going on. You want to be paying attention to yourself. And the problem with people in the world today is you're not paying attention to yourself. You're not inside your own head. You don't hear those voices. You don't hear what you love, what you like anymore. And so you're always like attuned to what other people like. Self-awareness, being able to hear those voices, is the key to everything.
If you let people's perception of you dictate your behavior, you will never grow as a person. But if you leave yourself open to experience, despite what others think, then you will learn and grow.
Those who can do, those who can't talk about those who can. Now, can you or can you not? No, you just one that sits on the sideline to talk about other people, or can you step up?
What do you want to make happen in the next 6 months of your life? We're almost a third of the way through the year already. And the fact is, 6 months, it is going to just pass in the blink of an eye. Do you know how fast that time is going to go? Just take a minute and think about the next 6 months and imagine what you want your life to look like. What's it feel like in your day-to-day life? What's happening in your career? How have your relationships or your friendships changed? I really want you to stop and visualize it. What do you want to make happen?
Who would I become? How would I think about the world?
Maybe it's the curiosity to discover what is around the next corner. Maybe you become the person that changes your family's legacy forever. Wouldn't that be worth getting up just one more time? Wouldn't that be worth getting up 30 minutes earlier than your alarm? It's believing that you can, and believing that something greater is in store for you. Because I promise, if you are going out into the world, attempting to leave everything better than you found it, using your gifts for good, I promise you, it will be impossible to call yourself a failure.
This is it. This moment, that is it. No need jumping in the past, no need looking for anything in the future. You will not get more than you have right now. It's just here.
You don't get to world class by doing easy things, taking easy projects. It's not an easy route. World class is about victory. It's achieving victory over your fears, your doubts, your disbeliefs, your procrastinations, your limited self. So don't be in the business of looking for easy. There's no joy there. There's no energy there. We come most alive as human beings when we achieve victory over difficult things.
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living."
And the greatest fear you face is yourself, because we all have dreams, and it's very scary sometimes to accept the dream that you have, and it's scarier still to say, okay, I want that. It's scary because you're afraid that if you put your heart and soul into it and you fail, then how are you going to feel about yourself, right? So being fearless means putting yourself out there and going for it. No matter what, go for it. Not for anybody else, but for yourself.
Your mindset can either be your superpower or your prison. It can elevate you or limit you. When you reinforce doubt and fear, you become trapped within the confines of your own mind. The world is what it is, but what's important is how you perceive it. You are the author of your own story. Don't let your mind put the governor switch on your potential. Use it to live the life of your dreams.
If tomorrow was not a guarantee, how far would you push? If you thought that today was your last opportunity to ever do the thing, how far would you go? How far would you go? How fast would you run? How much would you sacrifice knowing you're never going to lace it up again?
You are willing to make the decision with the mindset, what if it does work out? I think at some point in every person's life, there is that collision between somebody else's expectations and hopes and dreams and yours.
You have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, you don't really love it, you're gonna give up.
What if? A lot of times I'll be in a tourism mile run or something like that, and I'm all jacked up. Body's broken, mind's broken, spirit's broken. I start to say, what if I could pull this off? It's the what if I can pull off a fucking miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be?
When you say you're gonna do something and then you follow through and you do it, not at the end when you cross the marathon, you finish it, or your hands raised. I'm talking about right now. The small steps in between the big successes everyone sees. No one sees this.
Don't panic. Right now, this is a rebuilding stage. You need to stop looking at everything that's going wrong and start looking at everything that can go right tomorrow if you put in the work today. No more excuses. No more blaming other people for the hand that you're dealt. Take ownership of everything in your life. Move past the negative thoughts that tell you that you can't. You can get back everything else. but you can't get back today. So make it count.
Those who are great are grateful. The difference is there are those who say, I have to put in the work, and there are those who say, I get to put in the work. One of them is going to put in more work, put in more of the small details into their craft, and they're going to get out a whole lot more because they're grateful to be there.
You must hold yourself accountable, and being your hero, that's what that does. You make yourself so totally accountable for who you are. You focus on you and only on you to become the best person you could be for others. Because we leave a lot on the table, not searching who we are. And therefore, you die not knowing your greatest potential.
You will become whatever you're fascinated with. You always become whatever you're fascinated with. This is the law of mind. If you become fascinated by poverty, you become poor. You become fascinated with sickness and the reports of all kinds of diseases, you will become sick. Whatever you become fascinated with, you'll get it and it'll get you. This is the law of mind and it works with anything. So do not become fascinated with what you do not want. If you want to be wealthy, become fascinated with wealth. Become fascinated with wealthy people. If you want to be successful and prosperous, become fascinated with successful, prosperous people.
The only way I lose is if I quit. It's going to be a dogfight. And so if you're ready to quit, then don't get started. If you're ready to quit, don't get started. If you're looking for this easy path, don't get started. If you think they're not going to close the door on you and say no 1,000,000 times, don't get started. But every time they close the door, I just get excited. Why? Because I am not a no, I'm one yes away.
I want to share with you is to wake up early and stack wins. What I mean is we need to start stacking little wins. Most of you out there think that success in life is a byproduct of big wins. Like I got to make that deal, I got to get that sale, I got to start that partnership. And the big wins are important too, make no mistake about it. But I'm here to tell you that the little wins stacked every day, every hour, over time, over days, weeks, and months, make you a gangster of a human being.
Discipline. People use that word so loosely. You have to sacrifice loved ones in order to be great because they don't understand. I am getting up every single day at 5 or 6 a.m. And when I get home after everyone leaves the gym, I want to take a nap. So now you're sacrificing your loved ones because you're not spending time with them. And when I wake up, I'm probably going to train again. And then I'm going to have dinner. And then I'm going to bed. And I'm going to do that every single day for a long period of time. That's sacrifice and discipline.
Most people will not understand your obsession, your drive, and your determination. Success is a lonely journey. That's just a reality. And most people are not going to understand why you're so driven, why you're so obsessed. And if you try and make them understand, you're going to end up frustrated. The best advice I can tell you is go on the journey by yourself.
In the battle, you find peace. When you go to war with yourself, you find a lot of peace. It's because you know exactly who you are. And that is where the peace is really found for me.
Those who are willing to risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. You have to take the risk. You can no longer play it safe. Now it's time to get risky. Now it's time to truly find out what you're made of and what you could achieve. Now it's time to truly find out how many lives you can impact. Now it's time to find out what you were destined to become.
You can't have an easy life and a great character. Show me a trust fund kid that inherited a bunch of money, and I'll show you someone mentally tortured. It's not the pursuit of happiness, it's the happiness of the pursuit. The journey or the destination. It's who you become on the journey.
If you're not getting past this today, this week, this month, this year, all of a sudden a decade goes by and you're still hung up and you can't get rid of that thing. If it's holding you back from going where you want to go, maybe you should just deny the thing ever gonna happen. Kick it in the head. Kick it off the curb. I'm done with you. I'm sick of you. I'm tired of hanging out with you. I'm tired of that thing, whatever it is, holding me back from going where I want to go.
Never say you can't do it. Say, I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet. And that's true with everything. It's like, there's nothing that you can't do. You may not have done it yet. We don't know if you can do it or not until you really crack this. And then you find out if you could do it or not, or how well you could do it.
You have to kill your current self for your new self to have room to grow. And so it's this constant appraisal of your skills and activities. Which of these makes me stronger? Which of these makes it more likely for me to hit my goal? And I just want to give you that frame because that single frame of, is this person being in my life make it more likely or less likely that I hit my goal? Is this activity or this behavior that I do make it more or less likely that I hit my goal? And I consistently just ask that question over and over and over again. Imagine a competitor that you'd never want to go against. Focused, persistent, always learning, always improving, relentless, says no to everything but that which makes them stronger. You know what he looks like, you know how he acts, you know who he associates with. That's future you. Now become him.
A dream is so big, when you have something, it's hard to give it. You get to the point that you're capable of risking more for just a dream, which is something that a normal person will not understand.
Right now the goal is just to focus on myself, everything growth. I'm not worried about the mistakes that I made in the past or anything, I'm in competition with myself. So I'm just getting better and better and better. That's it.
You want to know when your life will really change though? The truth is, your life will change when you realize that some people are gone and they ain't coming back. Stop trying to breathe life into something that died years ago. Some people are in your life forever, but most people are only passing through. That chapter is in the past. So instead of reading the same chapter over and over again, it's time to make space for people who actually deserve your time and attention and who are presently here with you right now.
Remember this when life gets tough. Life is a lot like driving. Sometimes you get lost, and sometimes you have to take streets you don't like. Maybe they're full of traffic, or maybe they're too bumpy, but they lead you where you need to go. Each rough patch has a purpose that will teach you a lesson and make you stronger. You might not get why you're on a hard road, but trust the process. Every path, no matter how hard, is needed for your growth. The bumps in the road are steps to where you need to be. Keep going, even when the way is unclear or crowded. You have a place you're meant to reach. The funny thing about life is that we can have so much and still feel something's missing. There's always that empty spot making us wonder why. We make excuses, looking for reasons for this feeling, wondering if there's a fix. It's because we can't let go, holding on to a dream of a perfect life. We forget that good things take time.
Pleasure passes quickly, but the shame remains. That's the harsh stoic truth. But the positive side of that is the reverse. When you work hard for something, when you put in hard labor on something, that passes quickly. But the pride, the virtue, the good that comes out of it, it remains.
And it's about accepting the seasons. The weather can never be the same. It can never rain all day, every day. So maybe you're in a season, but the weather always has to change. What can you be learning? What can you be doing in this season? Because it's definitely not gonna change if you're not figuring out what lesson you need to have in this season. If it never rained, the plant's not growing.
Have you ever realized that both fear and faith require you to believe in something that you cannot see? Think about that for a second. Both include uncertainty, both require discomfort. One keeps you small by anticipating danger or pain. The other wants you to grow by anticipating joy or love. So if you're stuck between the two, doubt or hope, fear or faith, maybe the simpler question is, which of the two do you value more? Once you have your answer, start acting from there.
Most people, when they fail, they don't like to look at themselves in the mirror and say, you know what? Maybe I have to change. People want change to happen to them. They don't want to change. And when you realize that change isn't going to happen to you, you need to actually proactively determine your future. Then and only then can you actually take not only full accountability for your good actions, your bad actions, but for your full life.
If you feel like you lost your way, I would say congratulations. If you're lost, that only means one thing. You're about to be found. And sometimes you need to lose your way in order to find a better way. Sometimes you need to lose certain things to gain better things. Sometimes certain doors have to close that you want to keep open so a better door can come into your life.
What's impossible in your life, go after that. Have that. Goals are important. Passion is important. Waking up in the morning and having excitement about the day is important. But you're here not by choice. You're led to this. And I believe we all have a destiny. We're all supposed to do something in our lives.
My favorite quote of all time by T.S. Eliot: "Those willing to risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go." Notice that it says those willing to risk. You have to risk failing. You have to risk getting mocked. You have to risk your safety and security if you want to find out how far you can go. If you want to find out how many lives you can touch. If you want to find out what it tastes like at the top, you have to be willing to risk going too far.
And that's what's painful, is that it takes more effort to start in the beginning, and more people are right about the fact, they're like, hey, you're not gonna hit it big. And guess what, a month in, you're not. But they're only measuring on months. And in 6 months, you're also not gonna have hit it big yet. And they're gonna be like, I'm still f***ing right. And at a year, you're still not gonna have hit it big. And they'll still be f***ing right. And every day that you haven't hit it, they're gonna feel like they were right. But they're wrong, because they're measuring in days and you're measuring in decades.
To get anywhere in life, you have to work extremely hard and you have to be disciplined. If you wanted to be a great piano player, there's no drug you can take, there's no self-help book, there's no guru. You got to spend 5 years, 10 years learning it until it becomes something that's second nature. There are no shortcuts. You see after a few years that an incredible pleasure happens where now you have mastery of this piano and you can play things you could never play before. Suddenly the whole thing opens up, this whole new universe. And that's the paradigm for everything meaningful in life. If you learn something well, if you learn a craft and you master it, it can bring you a far greater pleasure than any kind of drug or any kind of going out to a party or socializing. But you have to be patient and you have to not be afraid of boredom. You have to not be afraid of the effort.
You know, there's something powerful that once you just sort of embrace the fact that in order to achieve something big, you've got to get rid of these distractions. You're probably going to have some suffering to get there or some sacrifice to get there. Suffering and sacrifice and hard work is an indication of progress towards our dreams. The lack of sacrifice, the lack of suffering in our lives, its removal, its non-existence also equates to a non-existence of a great life, a non-existence of a dream happening. When we're suffering and sacrificing, we wonder whether it's worth it. We wonder whether we're supposed to. We wonder whether sacrifice or setbacks or suffering is a sign it's not our real dream. See, at the gym, you never think, oh, I'm going through some pain and discomfort. This must be a sign I shouldn't be at the gym. You never think that. In fact, the indication of the pain and sacrifice and sweat, don't you feel better at the gym? You're like, wow, I really sacrificed today. I really suffered. So in that area, we all know to the extent we suffer and sacrifice is to the extent we grow.
Don't get better automatically. You only get better because you intentionally make a decision to get better. You have to go from being a person of good intentions to a person of good actions.
Life doesn't happen to you. We all think that life happens to me, right? In fact, the only difference between most of you and me, the only difference between me and you is I wanted it more. I wanted it more. Opportunities will come to you every day. It's either for you, you can remain scared of the opportunities or you can embrace them and take them.
You need to push yourself past good. Good is not enough. What are you gonna do that's gonna be different, you understand? What is different within you? There is something deeply different about you. Because a lot of the times, our biggest obstacle is ourselves. You are in your own way, and it just takes a perspective shift to implement into our day, and the next thing you know, we're transforming.
I wish more people were more gentle with themselves and more forgiving. You don't have a lot of people in life that are gonna come and fight for you. It bothers me to my core when I see people be negative on themselves, be hard on themselves, not be a fan of themselves. If you're not a fan of yourself, nobody's going to be a fan of you. If you don't fight for yourself, nobody's going to fight for you. It really bothers me, the victim mentality that people have. And if you can escape that victim mentality, you can tap into the opposite side, which is hope.
And you start stacking those wins. With each win comes a higher price. You have to pay a little bit more. Some days you pay a little less, some days you pay a little bit more. When winning is looking at you and it's saying, this is what I need you to focus in on, can you go all in on that? Or are you busy still kind of looking out of the corner of your eye? You can't do anything to the fullest extent, to its best capabilities, if you're already thinking about something else or you're thinking about next.
If you wanted it bad enough, you'd make it happen. Just shows your true desires. Otherwise, something more important will always come up. The truth is, it's on your mind. You're probably as ready as you'll ever be. If you don't make time for your dreams, you'll be forced to make time for your regrets.
A fear is going to be a player in your life. But you get to decide how much. You can spend your whole life imagining ghosts, worrying about the pathway to the future, but all there will ever be is what's happening here. And the decisions we make in this moment, which are based in either love or fear.
Don't stop, don't dwell on the past, because a lot of times when we dwell on mistakes, when we dwell on certain decisions we've made that already happened, it keeps us there. It keeps us stuck there. Now we're taken away from this moment that we have right now. This moment that we have to bring intention to this moment, to bring gratitude to this moment, to focus on taking the next right step instead of looking backwards and staying stuck in a place that we don't have anymore.
Fast forward 20 years. Are you going to look back at your time and think, I probably should have done anything? If you know that in a year, you think you're going to say, okay, I probably should have been doing this. Or man, I probably shouldn't have been doing this so much. That is not a good feeling to have.